this is a video. So today I want to do the 3 Bookish Things Tag. I don't know if I've never really seen one of these on Book Talk. I think it's more of like the book blogging sphere. But I'll link, I need content. So I just like searched up book tags and stuff, and I found a great website and blog that has a lot that I'll link below. However, so it's just like a bunch of questions, and you do it in like groups of 3. So that's what we're gonna do. So the first one is 3 read once and loved authors. So for this one, I picked Frederick Bachman, who I've read, and Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer, which I absolutely love. Obviously gave it 5 stars. It's just so like wonderfully tragic writing, and like so it's such amazing writing, and it's, you know, it's endearing and like just human, I guess. And then for my second one, I picked Rachel Kahn, who wrote You Know Where to Find Me, and I love this book. I think it deals with the subject matter very well, especially given the age range of the characters. And I think a lot of people should read it. It's short, and like once again, it just like approaches things that are difficult from a very human perspective, which like I like. I know it's like, you know, well, obviously they approach it from a human perspective, but like it's like it makes sense. Like the actions of characters and the way they do things makes sense. And then lastly, we have Daniel Young Gilman, who is the author of Everything Beautiful Is Not Written, which is it's definitely on my all-time favorite book list. Literally nothing I've tried to read in the same like kind of area has stood up to it. Like it's my perfect book. It's the perfect book for me. And once again, it's so beautifully written. There's like a puzzle you're basically trying to put together, and once again, like it's very logical, and it's very human, it's very raw and emotional, and it sets out what it wants to do and how it wants to do it, and the author was very, very good at that. So those are my 3 read once and loved authors. So for titles I've watched but haven't read, the Hunger Games series after the first book. I read the movie. I watched the movie and then read the first book, and then tried to read the second book, and I just couldn't do it. Dystopian novels aren't my thing. I simply can't. Additionally, The Maze Runner, once again, it's from like the 2010s, like, you know, Divergent, Hunger Games, Maze Runner, like that sort of, like I just can't deal with that sort of thing. Like it's just not my place. So yeah, never read any of the Maze Runner books. And then The Life of Pi, I watched the movie. I liked the movie a lot. The book just seems so not my thing. I had it for the longest time, and I finally unhauled it just because I wasn't gonna read it. It's not my thing. I mean, I've been told it's a wonderful book, but it's not my thing. And I think sometimes you need to accept that about yourself. So moving on to 3 characters you love. I said this in my mid-year freak-out tag. The little girl from My Brother's Husband is just so adorable, and it's very accurate, like how she like sees the world. I remember being a girl that young and like kind of understanding things in a similar sense, and just perfect. Such a lovable little character. Then we have Charlie from Heartstopper. Who doesn't love? I would say honestly Charlie and Nick both. both of them. From Heartstopper have, I think, you know, anyone who reads like YA queer fiction, there's a special place in your heart for Nick and Charlie. And then this is different because I didn't give this series 5 stars. I think they were all 4 stars, I think. Stevie Bell from Truly Devious. I liked her as a character. Like she was very, once again, like everything she did was very logical, and you know, and when things weren't logical, it was like, wait, why am I doing this illogical thing? And like it was very a self-aware character that I very much enjoyed. So the 3 series I binged. So this year it was My Brother's Husband, which is a 2-volume manga that I absolutely loved. Everyone should go read it. It like made me tear up from happiness and sadness and just so many emotions. And then last year I binged all of Fence, which just, Fence fans know what a slow burn queer romance is, let me tell you that. My goodness. I gave most of that 4 and 5 stars. And then in 8th grade, like 8th grade, summer of 8th grade, binged the Selection series. Maybe it was even the summer of 7th grade. It was in middle school, but like read the Selection at school, read the Elite during school as well, I believe, as an ebook, and then like got so many. I owned The Heir or The Crown. I owned The Crown and the Happily Ever After novella book collection for a while, and then I unhauled it. But I might reread that for a video, that series. We'll have to see though. I never did read all the novellas. Moving on. 3 unpopular bookish opinions. Okay, so this first one. Harry Potter is overrated. Let me tell you why. I'll preface this with, I've never read it. I never had any interest in reading it. I'm not a fantasy, not a dystopian girl. Like, I don't do it, okay? And for that reason, like, ever since it's become so apparent how problematic J.K. Rowling is, like, I'm not gonna read it. Like, I'm not gonna spend my time or money supporting this author. Like, duh. So I think there's no issue with a person being like, I love this book, but, you know, and being like, you know, if you haven't already, like, if you're not, and like, it's so cool, good for you millennials and like early Gen Z, although I'm fairly early Gen Z too. I guess you could call me, like, I remember flip phones, and my dream as a child was to have the phones you could slide out the keyboard to. Oh, those are so cool. Anywho, we still had corded phones. Anyhow, but I think we've done enough. I think enough has been done. But if you're in the Harry Potter fandom, like, good for you. And, you know, I'm not a part of that. I just think it's a little much. Secondly, I think you should get rid of books you don't like. I think, you know, I think there's no issue with complaining about books. But, you know, I don't keep, well, some 3 stars I keep depending on certain circumstances. But 3 stars and below, typically, I unhaul, and they go to Value Village or somewhere else, to a library. I've donated so many to my high school library. But, you know, and other people may find a book they really enjoy, because I recognize that most of my books that I don't like, there's nothing inherently wrong with them. It's just, it came off wrong to me. And even ones like I like, but like I don't have any interest in continuing anything about them, you know, 3 stars, just unhaul them. You know, and it's how it goes sometimes. Lastly, historical fiction is very easy to get wrong and to be damaging. Particularly romances set during war. Let me say this. Humanitarian tragedy and failure does not mean romance. And I absolutely hate romances set during World War II and World War I, frankly. And any, like, you know, especially the ones I'm talking about. I think it's so damaging. Like, why would you do this? And there is ways to look at it and be like, okay, this is a historical period of people, like, why did this happen? Why did people follow people like this? That's one thing we can do. But we can't say, he's just so different, you know? Like, and I mean, it's one of the biggest qualms I have with historical romance, or with historical fiction, even when it's not romance. Like, there's I'll try to find it, but it's about historical fiction movies about World War II and the Holocaust. I'll link it below. It's great, and the person featured in it also has a book, and they talk about what ones did well and what ones went very, very wrong. And I think you, like, other than sensitivity readers, I think you should have a legit historian read your historical fiction, because sometimes it's so damaging, like, the fictionalized parts of it. So just, yeah. Nothing against people who enjoy historical fiction or people who write historical fiction, but I'm just like, the idea scares me. You know, it just scares me a lot. Anyway, 3 current favorite book covers. So I have the books here for this. So firstly, I'm going to say Everything All at Once. I just think this is cute. I like the ocean. I like that it's like cliff and the title and this little girl like jumping off, going on an adventure. Like, I think it's very cute, and I like that it's a full wrap around on the thing. I guess it's not on the back, but on the spine. Is there anything on this one? No. But yeah, I just think it's really adorable, and I love the color palette. Moving on. The Great Gatsby. I talked about this in my mid-year freakout tag. Like, this is just so beautiful. You can't tell me otherwise. Like, the silhouette, like, it's the fade, the ombre, folks. And last but not least, mine. Because I designed it. I think it wraps around. There's me. I'm so excited for my second one too, that's being worked on currently. This was one I was able to design. The talent's inside the pages, okay? But I still love it so much just because, like, it's, you know, it's such an accomplishment for me, and I think the graphic really matches as well too, so. Okay, and lastly, the 3 bookish goals I have for the rest of the year. Get through more of my physical TBR. It's been a goal. We've been talking about it for a while on this channel. I'm working on it, slowly but surely. Also, additionally, kind of same point, use my Scribd account more, because there was a few months where I didn't use Scribd at all, and like, I'm paying $13 Canadian for it every month. So use that. So I'm thinking I should be reading at least 13 books a month with Scribd. $1 a book. And then finish my second book, which I'm going to do. It's going to be done. It will be released in November. Have I worked at it at all this month? You decide. I don't know. I'm in a writing slump. I've been reading a ton though. I don't know. It's been a weird month. Sometimes when life hits me, I'm like, poem. And sometimes when life hits me, I'm like, I don't want to memorialize. I don't want to have to think about this again in 3 months when I'm editing. Like, I don't. No, thank you. So that's where we're at right now. But yeah, that was my 3 bookish things tag, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to check out this book, the Goodreads link and the bio link is linked below. You can also keep up with my writing on my Facebook author page, which is also linked below. And other than that, I hope you're having a great day.